Majority of what you have been told in the cybersecurity industry is a lie. I feel like the entire cybersecurity industry is very misrepresented in media or on social media or just literally in the community. So, gonna shed some light on some cybersecurity myths and have them busted. The cybersecurity mythbuster, if you will. This question says, no sudo, no output from linps, etc. How do you escalate privileges? I'll show you one resource that I've used to escalate privileges in Linux. I also have a whole video about it. I'll link it wherever, but this is the resource that I have used. So this is GTFO bins. GTFO bins is a curated list of Unix binaries that can be used to bypass local security restrictions in misconfigured systems. Which, for example, you can see the functions here: read file sudo, file download, suid sudo, shell sudo, things like that. So for example, if you wanted to escalate privileges, get a shell, if you will, break out from restricted environments, in the terminal, you would type FTP and then a shebang. Which is an exclamation point slash sh, which I guess isn't a shebang because it's slash sh, but you get the point. So you just type that in the terminal, click enter, and then you have a shell, and then you've escalated privileges if it is misconfigured, which I do have a whole video about Linux privilege escalation demonstrating GTFO bins. So if you want to take a look at that, it'll be somewhere here. Maybe in the description. Who knows? It's a mystery. This question says, which is better, AI engineering or cybersecurity? Well, let me tell you. The world of AI and cybersecurity are not too far apart. They're kind of intertwined. As in with everything in cybersecurity, cybersecurity makes up the entire internet, tech as a whole. Cybersecurity is literally ingrained in everything. So you kind of have to know everything. AI engineering and cybersecurity, same, in a sense. So dealing with AI security, we have this GitHub here, this dude, Pliny, Elder Plinus. He goes by Pliny the Prompter. He does a ton of like prompt injections and has like system prompts for different AI and stuff. All of this just kind of ties in together with like AI and security and like prompt injections and making sure sensitive data isn't in your RAG systems and things like that. Here we have Liberatus, one of his repos, which this is something cool. He actually made this GitHub repo, whatever, and he put in a bunch of jailbreak commands. So for example, exclamation point jailbreak on line 10, God mode enabled on line 5. So he kind of made this so when AI is scraping websites and stuff, it would probably scrape this GitHub and then take in these commands. So when you type, for example, God mode enabled, it scraped GitHub. It has these commands in its training data, and then you jailbreak AI just based on its training data. So that's one interesting thing. For example, he has like ChatGPT prompt injections to jailbreak GPT and all the different versions. And so pretty cool. And I did get all this info from Jason Haddix. Super cool dude. I took his Attacking AI course, and this is it right here, Attacking AI. Not a sponsored video by him, by the way. I just thought the training was awesome. So if you want to take it, it's good training. Learn a lot about offensive security with AI. Next question is how to pen test cyber physical systems, which is physical pen testing, which could involve lockpicking or sometimes people will pay people to break into buildings and see if they get caught, which is really cool. I used to want to do that for a long time when I first got into cybersecurity. I was like, I want to be a physical pen tester and like break into buildings, which still would be cool. Sounds like some like spy shit. If any physical pen testers are watching this, invite me on a pen test or something. I don't know. I can film it. It would be cool. Anyway, one way you can do like physical pen testing, more like RFID and NFC stuff, is with this. This is a Flipper Zero. Like clone hotel keys and get into people's rooms if the hotel key is vulnerable to it. It has to be a certain type of hotel key. It can like change traffic lights, unlock cars, clone a key fob, a car key fob, and just like any key fob. Lots of cool stuff you can do with a Flipper Zero. And I also have these, which are lock picks. Can pick locks with them. I also have a Wi-Fi deauthor hardware little cat thing. I don't remember who makes the cat Wi-Fi deauthors. I got it at DEF CON last year, and I also got at DEF CON last year. It's like a mag stripe for a credit card. It's kind of like a little hardware skimmer, and you can like swipe a credit card and it takes its data, number and stuff, and you could use someone else's credit card. They're somewhere in here. I don't know where, but I do have those. I'll have to find them for a separate video. Lots of stuff you can do with physical pen testing. Oh, and I also have a Bash Bunny. It's from Hack5. It's a little like a rubber ducky USB, except with a lot more payloads. And then I also have a Wi-Fi pineapple, which is not here, but I do have those as well. Which Wi-Fi pineapple, you can set up an evil twin attack, get Wi-Fi creds, scan a bunch of SSIDs around you, test the security of them, things like that. So this one says, what or who had an influence on you to master this profession? Well, I'm not a master at this profession. I'll tell you one thing. Really, myself. No one's really influencing me or encouraging me to do this besides myself. Back in the day before I did content, I watched YouTubers like Chuck and John Hammond and things like that. I dabbled. I wasn't really like involved in the YouTube community, so to say. I didn't really watch a lot of cybersecurity videos and things like that. I just like did everything myself. Studied for a ton of certs. Just myself and Professor Messer. Shout out, Professor Messy. It was just me, myself, and I. Even now, it's just me, myself, and I motivating myself to keep doing this, which I like cybersecurity, I like making videos, I like learning. So it's not too terribly difficult, but sometimes you can be like, oh, I don't feel like studying today, or oh, I don't feel like setting everything up and filming a video or whatever, but definitely worth it in the end. Definitely love cybersecurity, so I can't say it's a bad gig, so to speak. I definitely like cybersecurity. I like social media. I like creating content. I like being creative. So, all in all, not bad. This one says, why is nobody giving policymaking enough credit in cybersecurity? That's what I say all the time. When you first start getting into cybersecurity, everyone focuses on red teaming and pen testing and Linux command line and hacking. And sure, all that's great and fun, and I focus on it for fun. Most of the time, it's going to be for fun. Realistically, if you're just getting into cybersecurity, you're not going to be doing red team. You're going to be a SOC analyst or help desk, things like that. Even me, for my job, I don't do pen testing, even though that's literally all I post about on YouTube because I find it fun, but I don't do pen testing for my job. I'm more so into cybersecurity policy, as that user said. I feel like that's just mainly what you're going to fall into is policy stuff, governance, risk, and compliance stuff, at least in my experience. I'm kind of like a cybersecurity program manager, create incident response plans and facilitate tabletops and test security tools to see which ones would be a good fit for the company and what the company needs and things like that, which I also enjoy. So it's not red team, it's not hacking, but in my opinion, it's still fun. But cybersecurity is a lot more paper pushy and managerial than everyone leads it on to be. It's either paper pushy or managerial, or explaining to end users why they can't have FileZilla on their computers and trying to get a company to not use an as from people who don't give a shit about what you're saying to them. That's kind of just the reality of it. So you have that to look forward to. Anyways, that's it for this video. Hope I gave some clarification on some burning questions from my Instagram. And make sure to like, subscribe, punch all the buttons in the face, and I will see you in the next video.